Okay, so I'm gonna start. So like I said, we don't have a lot of things going on right now because Miss Morikawa and I are still trying to figure out the last week of school. But just a friendly reminder that the last week of school, we won't be posting any new work for the last week. It'll be more of like a general catch-up week because we will be at school. We have to clean up the classes and do paperwork and things like that. So the last week, if you're sending us email, we might not be able to respond as quickly as we have been. So a few things that Mr. G has mentioned. Some of you went home with French books from my library and English books from Miss Morikawa's library. So Wednesday and Thursday, it'll be a pick up and drop off day. So if you could put those books in like a brown bag or a plastic bag with the name of your child and our names. So for example, Jane, Miss Burgess, Miss Morikawa, and just return books from our library if you borrowed some so that we can put them away as well for the summer. Miss Morikawa's math books and all of that you can keep because those your child has been working on it. So we didn't send home the students with any textbooks. It's mainly our library books that we would like to get back. So if you could just make sure to return those if you took some from our classroom on March 13th. It'll Wednesday and Thursday, so again, we don't have the times yet, but also will be the days to return the instruments. So same thing, just make sure you return these instruments to us. And in regards to devices, so you will be able to keep the devices over the summer, unless you're not coming back to Richland next year. So if you're not coming back to Richland next year, please return the devices, which makes sense. So it's mainly the instruments and our library books. So just, yes, make sure you put them in a bag. What Mr. G will do is he'll leave everything that's returned in the auditorium for 72 hours before we put them away. So just make sure you have our names and the student's name. And again, we will be, so you'll be dropping off bags and instruments, and we'll be handing out like the pencil boxes and, you know, every water bottles that were forgotten or sweatshirts. So if there's something in particular, just let us know, and we'll be there at school from Monday till Friday. So just make sure you let us know. On my end, for French, what I'll be doing next week is I'll be assigning a bit more work, just so that in case you want let's say you caught up and you don't have anything to do the last week of school, and you want your child to have a bit more exercises. So don't be shocked if you see more exercises. It's up to you if you want to do them or not. But I'll just be assigning a bit more work. That way they have something to do that last week of school. But my YouTube videos, there'll be 2 more next week. And after that, I'll be done with YouTube. So that's on my end. I don't know if you have any questions in regards to what I just said. Yes?
Yeah, do you have a list of kids that have French books? Because we have no idea if he brought some home or not. And
I do not, because it was a bit mayhem the last day of school. But
is it written like Richland Library?
Yes,
on the side,
yes. And I mean, there were books I did not let the kids go home with, so it's not the end of the world if they're not back. It's just if you realize, like, what is this book? Where does it come from? Yes, and again, like, if you have books, if let's say you don't have any books over the summer and you want to keep them, that's okay, just because I understand, so just let me know. Some of them
Okay.
have the Richland, yeah, they should have the Richland stamp somewhere in the book, yeah.
And then we're talking about books from our personal libraries, our classroom libraries. We're not talking about the library book library.
Yeah, do you have any markings in yours?
Nat has his 2 books. Are these ones to
Yeah.
bring back?
Mm-hmm. Those are
Okay.
ours. Yes, and let's say you're not sure, you can also take a picture and send it. But like, again, we send the books home knowing that we might never see them again. So it's not the end of the world. Like, don't panic. It's totally fine. And even if you find some over the summer, you can give it back next year. And if you want to keep them, that's fine too, over the summer. So.
Okay.
The one for the other parents, he came home saying that the teachers give him this book. And they're his.
Well, we tried to stuff a few French books in there just in case they had something to read. But I don't want you to stress out about it or anything. Like I said, there were certain books I put aside that I didn't want them to go home with, but you know, it's just if you find one and you're like, oh, that's weird, I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
So yes. But yes, so besides that, so yes, don't worry about the French if you see a bunch more exercises compared to the previous weeks. It's just I wanted to somewhat plan for 2 weeks in case you wanted them to keep busy. But again, if you don't have time, it's fine. And our Google Classroom will be up throughout the summer if you want to access any of the resources. I did find a fun website, actually. Ms. Dula showed me, she found it and has been using it in 2nd grade. And I looked at it and it's really fun and useful. So it's called Les Fondamentaux. C'est Réseau Canopé, and their videos, I actually linked them for last week for the Imparfait. But if you go here and you go on Français, you click here, it actually they have hundreds of very short videos that go over a bunch of grammar, spelling rules, verb conjugation, and it's really, really well done. So I'll email that to all of you, but it's really well done. It's usually we have to pay for it, but right now it's free. So they have a lot. So here, these are all like conjugation, l'imparfait, le présent, le futur, and they're really fun educational videos. I love it, and they come up with regular videos, I think every week. So that's just something fun I thought you would enjoy. And I'll email out the link and post it on Google Classroom. So I'll make sure also for the summer to I'm still trying to figure out what I can give you so that they have work over the summer in French. So next week, hopefully I'll come with more information on that. I'm still working on it. So yes, it's more help.
I just wanted to say, so we emailed an announcement that we're having a talent show. We haven't decided what day we're going to present the talent show, but it's definitely during the last week of school. So if your child would like to participate, make sure you upload it to the YouTube channel, and then I think we're gonna just have a viewing party. I think what we're discussing. So we're just gonna have a big Zoom, and we're just gonna have sharing the screen, and then we'll just watch it all together. Yeah, that was it.
So yeah, so keep by next Friday we should have dates and times. We're still trying to figure all of that out.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. G is going to talk to us one more time next week. So we'll have a little more information about the flow of the last week of school. But as of now, what we know. Any questions?
So I missed the very first few minutes. My apologies.
No worries.
I know that we have a violin and a recorder to return, and then the school books that she might have from the library.
Yeah, so the recorder, no, this is hers. Nina can keep it. The recorders, please do not return. That's theirs. Yes, so on Wednesday or Thursday, we're not sure of the time frame exactly. There'll be specific drop-off pickup times. So they're library books from our library. We didn't have the students go home with the library books in school. So those are in our classroom. We'll take care of that. But from our libraries, yes. If you could put them in a brown bag or a plastic bag with Nina's name on it and our names on it. And what will happen is we'll take it from your car, then they'll be left in the auditorium for 72 hours and then return to our classroom. With any textbooks. So that should be the only things she has to return, because the My Math and all of that she can keep. Same with the grammar, Miss Morikawa, if I'm right. Yes. Yeah. And same with the French notebooks, like all of that you can keep. So it's mainly our books from the library. And again, if you're not sure, it's not the end of the world, or if you want to keep them, it's okay. I had a student from last year return a book to me from my library in February. So it's not the end of the world. So yes. So,
I have a question. This is Cecile. And it's more like knowing if you have ideas or suggestions. I know you're suggesting a lot of different platforms where the kids can like have access to reading or exercise and so on. For my kids, ideally for the summer, I'm thinking about like when school is over, in order to kind of keep them on a good mix of playtime, but also like keep their brain engaged and have them occupied for maybe a half the day or something. Ideally, the platform that I would find or that I would use has a mix of like a book that I can buy, like some types of things that they can flip through and do exercise on, so that I don't have to print stuff every single day, you know, or like find new materials that I need to print every single day. Like, so have kind of a vacation review book that would be a mix of that book and some that would be integrated with some digital applications, or like a digital how do you say, like virtual lesson, something so they can have the lesson and then go to their book to be able to do the work that they've just heard about or something. I wouldn't mind paying for it. You know, like I'm not necessarily looking for some free things that are out there, but something that would be integrated, digital and a physical packet would be really ideal. So I don't know if it exists out there. I haven't really researched and I haven't asked other parents if they found some stuff like that, but
I think Jackie is showing up too.
I got something in the mail.
Yeah.
From LAUSD, preparing for 4th grade and then preparing for 1st grade. I don't know if it's got a bunch of workbooks and stuff, like 6 different weeks of like 8 pages per week. Did you get something like that? I just got it in the mail this week.
Jackie, did you buy that, or did you get that?
I bought this for Sylvan. I think I got it. I don't know if I bought it off Target, but it's for, you know, getting into from 3rd grade to 4th grade, and it's reading comprehension, it's telling time, it's, you know, it's.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the one that Elodie has that we got from
this one is the LAUSD one that everybody received.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
And Cecile, if you haven't received it, when you come back home, I have the link where you can request it. And you have it for both kids, but it's all in English.
Okay.
For French, my plan was getting a passeport, the devoir de vacances. I was going to take a picture of almost every page so that you didn't have to purchase it, and putting it on Google Classroom. But I can do research and see if they have some devoir de vacances that have lessons now virtually. I'm not sure if that exists, but I'm going to do more research about that. And give links to different Devoir de vacances. Passeport is like the main one. That's the one I've always personally used. But I don't know if nowadays they incorporate like videos or anything. I can look into it. I have one that I'm going to scan just so that some parents that do not want to buy it can have access to it. But I'll see if I can find something that has videos. But the video I just showed, the website, in my mind, for example, Julian could look at the video sur l'imparfait and then do the exercises on l'imparfait. That could be an option too, but I'll see if nowadays they have more high-tech ones. I'm not
Okay, and also if you could send me the information on how I could buy the book.
I mean, I bought it from La Fnac.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got the one last year.
So maybe like the exact like information, like the book title and so on, so I could find it.
Right. Yes, I'll do that. I'll put a link. I'll email it, and I'll put it on Google Classroom too.
Okay. Thank you.
I also think at the beginning of confinement, I found some addresses for free books.
Yes, they're like, there's only 5-10 pages. I looked at them.
Okay.
So they're fine, but if it's to last the entire summer, I think those have more pages and more work. But that's a good start, definitely. So yes, I'll put all the links for the different versions. I think I'll try and upload 2 different cahiers de vacances because I have 2 at home. I'll do that next weekend, and then I'll give you more links if you don't really like the style and if you want to pick a different one. There are so many out there.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Yeah, so we'll put a tab on Google Classroom with work for the summer, different things you can do, and like we said, it'll be up. Our classroom will be up all through the summer, so you can go back and see it. And I'll leave my amazing YouTube videos too, so if they want to go back to it, they can. So those will still be up.
How many million followers do you have now?
I have about 10. It's something. I never thought I would do this, but here we are. So 2 more and then I'm done. So
It actually worked out really well.
Oh, thank you.
So
I'm definitely not a tech savvy person, so I surprised myself I could do it.
You did good.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any other question, and next week will be our last parent Zoom, and then we'll have 2 more the last week with the kids.
Sorry, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you have any recommendations as far as like keeping their conversational French up over the summer?
That's a good question. Yes, I don't know if I was going to talk to Florence and see if she's going to have something over the summer, because I saw the play. It was amazing.
I think she does, and so I've considered doing that, like having a tutor or paying Florence or something to continue doing that. I just wasn't sure if there was some other like well-known French resource that I am not aware of.
Let me look into it. That's a good question. I'll see if there's something out there. I know like Language Not has a speaking thing, but it's not that great. It's true, it's better if it's in person. And I'll talk to Florence as well and see if she has any. I know l'Alliance Française has virtual camps, I think, this summer. So that's maybe something to look into. They reached out and wondering if I wanted to teach it. I said, no, thank you. But I know that the Alliance Française has summer classes virtually. But I don't know about Florence. I'll talk to her. I'll see what she says, and I'll let you know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
As far as listening to it, I think most Netflix shows can go to French soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. And Disney Plus too, apparently, from what I heard.
We have, and even if we have movies like on Apple Movies and stuff, iTunes that we've purchased, a lot of those do, and we'll put the French language on and the French subtitles. Mm-hmm. But they're not required to speak back.
Yeah.
So I was just looking for something where they could converse a little bit.
Yes, yes. Let me talk to Florence because I was in awe at the play. It was pretty incredible. And I'll also look see what Alliance Française has to offer. Maybe they have conversation classes. Well, I mean, even if it's a lesson with an actual teacher, they can have and I'll give you more information when I find something.
Thank you.
No problem. That's it. If you have any other questions, no? Okay, so next week we'll hopefully have a better idea of what the last week will look like, and we'll try and have an actual plan for you and more resources for the summer.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
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 Bye.